What's happening YouTube? It's your resident waifu, Paddy from the Hangar here. Apologies for the late wait for the next episode, but we've just had snag after snag after snag. I've been very, very busy, and any time that I've committed to making an episode, something's went wrong. There continues to be something wrong as well, as I've mentioned every single time I've tried to record an episode. During the transfer of files from here to here, we've lost certain tracks, so unfortunately we're going to have to go back and redo some things. I choose to try live my life glass half full, so I'm going to look at this as an opportunity to do tracks a little bit more tighter, a little bit better. So today I'm going to start with doing some bass guitar for a track called Predictable. So, I can't remember if I have recorded this one or not. I would guess that I have recorded this. However, if you don't remember, when I record bass guitar, I'm going to be using a plugin called Amplitude, which means I'm able to keep the heater on because there's no microphones involved. Well, there's digital microphones, but there's no physical, actual microphones involved. Another thing to make you vaguely aware of, although I'll probably end up editing it out, is that the start of this song is simply guitar, then guitar and vocals, then everything else comes in. So the bass won't come in for a little bit. I'm going to play it from the start just for consistency, but there'll be a bit of silence that, as I say, I'll probably end up editing out. Because of the relative simplicity of that part, I really don't... Why is it done that then? I really don't feel the need to check that. I'd rather just move on and see if we can get another song done. So I'll save that. There we go. It's definitely saved. So I'm going to minimize Pro Tools for now and Avid Link. going to click on Pro Tools projects. Not worth a thing. Okay, so that's not good. So we can go on to session backup files. Right, the 17th of July 2024 was the last time. That was also the 17th of July. So there is a way around this. So I can share this via airdrop. Sorry to say, but this is going to be more bass guitar recording. So I'm tempted to do a third song, but I think considering the amount of issues that I've been having trying to record an episode, I might try to just bring in my catch now and see where we're at. One of the issues I've been having continuously is that when I go to finish the screen recording on this computer, it just disappears. So my fear is if I do more, because we're currently sitting at about 20 odd minutes, obviously I'll trim that down. My fear is that if I do more, I'll lose it and I'll just end up finding more and more reasons not to come out again and do an episode, because each time I've come out and there's been an issue, it has been a case of convincing myself to come out. I want to record, but it's the putting it on YouTube part that's really starting to get on my wick. However, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I apologise that it's just bass, but as I say, we're sort of catching up with with issues in the background. So it's good that we've progressed the songs that we have. We won't have to do them again. Fingers crossed. I'm surprised that hasn't asked me. In fact, I might actually go save as. Hold on before we go. So desktop, Pro Tools projects, in there. Save it in there. Cool. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed. Please do share the word, like, subscribe, all that nonsense. Get yourself onto your music streaming platform of choice. Listen to Trich. We're so close to 1,000 listens on that. If we can push that over the line, that'd be amazing. But most importantly, safe landing.